Are you thinking of buying a home in Running Springs, California? Perhaps a primary home, vacation home, or a rental investment property? In this video, I will talk about the pros and cons of living in the San Bernardino mountain town of Running Springs to help you decide if Running Springs is the right town for you. And if you stick around till the end, I will share with you a very popular nearby hiking trail in Running Springs, and we're getting after it right now. If you are new to this channel and would like to know everything about living in Running Springs, buying or selling your home in Running Springs, Lake Arrowhead, and the surrounding San Bernardino mountain communities, then subscribe below and tap the bell for notifications so you will be the first to know about the current market in Running Springs, Lake Arrowhead, and the surrounding San Bernardino mountain communities. My name is Alma Borcuk with the Living in Lake Arrowhead, California team. We get calls and emails every day from people just like you looking to buy or sell their home in Running Springs, Lake Arrowhead, and the surrounding San Bernardino mountain communities, and we absolutely love it. Whether you're making your move in 9 days or 90 days, just give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email. We're here ready to help the buying or selling of your home in Running Springs, Lake Arrowhead, and surrounding San Bernardino mountain communities smooth and stress-free. So let's talk about the history of Running Springs. In the 1890s, logging and timber was a big industry in Running Springs, and it was a significant driver of the local economy. And so logging camps and sawmills were established in the San Bernardino mountain communities, which includes Running Springs. And at that time, Running Springs area was named Hunsaker Flats. And after a while, the timber industry slowed down, and so the San Bernardino mountains began. The communities in the San Bernardino mountains, including Running Springs, began to attract visitors who are looking to escape the hot temperatures down in the valley below. And so in the 1920s, there are property investors who began to build community subdivisions for vacation properties and camps. And the Running Springs name is believed to have originated from a natural spring that was then a reliable source of running water in the area. So there's a short history of Running Springs. So what are the pros and cons of living in Running Springs? Running Springs has a population of just over 5,000 people and has a total area of about 4.2 square miles, and so it is a small town. And so one of the pros of living in Running Springs is the small town atmosphere. And when you are walking in downtown Running Springs, which isn't a very big area, or if you're dining at a local restaurant, or even when you're hiking in one of the local trails, or if you're skiing at the Snow Valley Mountain Resort, it's not uncommon to meet people that you know from the area. And Running Springs and Bear Lake, which is part of Running Springs, are unincorporated communities in the San Bernardino County. And this means that there's no local government, there's no mayor or city council. And so the Running Springs Chamber of Commerce fills in this gap of no local government. And it's very active in supporting the local businesses by organizing several local events. And among these events, the real popular one is the Saturday Farmers Market and Art Fair that runs from April through November. So when it gets colder, like around this time, there's no farmers market. They start again in the spring. And then in the summertime, a popular event is the Mountain Top Days, and that celebrates the history of Running Springs. And being a small town, just like the neighboring communities of Crestline and Lake Arrowhead and Green Valley Lake, One of the cons is that there are limited job opportunities in the area, and so most likely you will have to commute to work down the hill to the nearby cities of San Bernardino, Loma Linda, Redlands, and Riverside. But the good thing, pro number 2, is that Running Springs is easily accessible driving up the mountain on Highway 330. So commuting to work to nearby cities like Highlands, San Bernardino, Loma Linda, Redlands is not so bad. Depending on where you are going, these cities are within a 25 to 35 minute commute. And then there's also Riverside, another big city down the hill, and it's only about 45 minutes away. And another pro of living in Running Springs is that there's no traffic. You can get to anywhere in town in like 10 minutes. And if you are to visit the nearby mountain communities of Twin Peaks, Blue Jay, Lake Arrowhead, Crestline, Sky Forest, they are all within a 20-minute drive. And Big Bear, which is further up Highway 18, is about 30 minutes away. So now, speaking of driving around town and to the nearby communities, a con of living in Running Springs, just like in any of the San Bernardino mountain communities, is that there is limited public transportation, and so it is important to have your own vehicle to get around. And ideally you would want to have a 4-wheel drive because it is easier to drive during the winter when we have snow on the ground. The 4-wheel drive makes it more convenient because most times you don't need to put on chains. Now, there is a local transit called the Marta Line that stops at key places on the mountain, but you will need to walk to the bus stop to get on a ride on it. So it's not really the most convenient nor the most efficient way to get around. Now, a big pro of living in Running Springs is the great outdoor lifestyle that it provides. Right within Running Springs is the Snow Valley Ski Resort. So going skiing is very accessible in the winter, and in the summertime, Snow Valley is also great for mountain biking during weekends. And there's also great mountain biking in the nearby Sky Park at Santa's Village, right in Sky Forest, which is less than 15 minutes away. And also right in Running Springs is the Rim Nordic Ski Area, which is the only cross-country skiing area in Southern California with machine groomed trails. And this area also transforms into great mountain biking on weekends in the summer, and it's open for biking from Memorial Day weekend through Labor Day weekend. And then there is no lake right in Running Springs, but water sports like fishing, boating, paddle boarding is not too far away because there's nearby Green Valley Lake and also Lake Gregory in Crestline. And of course, there are hiking trails all around the Running Springs area. Some of them are designated trails, but if you're lucky, in certain homes, if you live in a home that's adjacent to the national forest, then taking a hike out in the woods is as easy as just walking out your door. A con of living in Running Springs, being in the San Bernardino National Forest, it is in a designated wildfire area. The last serious wildfire that burned down some homes in Running Springs was the Slide Fire in October of 2007, and that wildfire did burn down a number of homes in Running Springs. But ever since then, we've been lucky. We haven't had any serious wildfire. Running Springs has an elevation of 6,100 feet, and so residents enjoy the 4 seasons. And when you think of Southern California, you don't really think of Southern California as snow country. but in the San Bernardino Mountains where Running Springs is located, we do get snow in the winter. And being of higher elevation than Crestline and Lake Arrowhead, Running Springs get a little more snow. And the great thing about the amount of snow you get in Running Springs, similar to the other mountain communities, is that it's just the right amount, even though a little bit more than Crestline and Lake Arrowhead. It's just enough that when you're ready for a change and you're about to get tired of the snow, it's gone, and now we have spring again. So how about the schools in Running Springs? Room of the World School District services all the mountain communities, including Running Springs. And in the district, there are 3 elementary schools, just 1 intermediate school, and 1 high school. And the elementary school that services the Running Springs area is the Charles Huffman Elementary School. And regarding current school ratings, I'd say it could be better. Like Charles Huffman Elementary School has a rating of C+, and Mary Putnam Hank Intermediate School has a C rating, and Rim of the World High School has a B rating. Even though the school ratings aren't as good as they should be, a lot of the kids on the mountain still do very well. They still manage to get accepted to the best schools in the country because of family support and community support. Another pro of living in Running Springs is the affordability of homes. You get a lot more value in real estate in the San Bernardino mountain communities, which includes Running Springs. And in Running Springs, there is a wide range of homes to choose from. There are small cabins priced in the 200,000 plus range, and then there are really big palatial homes and horse property that are priced in the millions. And on average, a nice 3-bedroom, 2-bath home in Running Springs will cost you no more than $500,000. So compared to Los Angeles and Orange County, you do get a lot more value in Running Springs. Like for example, a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home will cost you probably about $1 million in Los Angeles, and probably over $1 million in Orange County. And so that's a lot more expensive than the homes in Running Springs. In Running Springs, you can own a decent 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom home in the 400,000 range, and no more than $500,000 in most cases. And if you are able to work from home and you don't have to commute to work, it just makes so much sense to buy a home in Running Springs, because it's a lot better living in your own 3-bedroom, 2-bath, good-sized home than renting a cramped apartment in LA or Orange County, or owning a very small home in LA, Orange County, and also San Diego. So when it comes to real estate, you get a lot more value in Running Springs and all the other San Bernardino mountain communities. Another pro of living in Running Springs is that it is pretty close to most of the major cities in Southern California. Most cities are within 2 hours drive. Like, for example, LA and Orange County are about 1 hour, 15 minutes away. And Palm Springs is also less than 2 hours away. And then there's San Diego, and San Diego is only about 2 hours away. And if you want to go to Las Vegas is really just under 4 hours. So those are the pros and cons of living in Running Springs. There are probably some pros and cons that I missed to mention in this video, and so if you can think of something feel free to share in the comment down below. And so now, after learning about the pros and cons I presented in this video, pros and cons of Running Springs, and now you believe Running Springs is the ideal town for you to live in and to buy a home, then feel free to call, text, or email me. My contact information is in the description below. I am here ready to help you find that perfect mountain home. So now, what is that nearby popular hiking trail that I mentioned in the beginning of this video? It is the Exploration Trail, and the Exploration Trail is a family-friendly 4.5-mile trail, and so it's about 8.7 miles out and back, and it is considered a moderately challenging route, and it takes an average of 4 hours to complete, and the elevation gain is about 1,500 feet. But for the less serious hikers who just wants an easy hike, and it's also a great short easy trail for children, there is the 0.75 mile interpretive trail loop. It's a section near the Upper Exploration Trail. Exploration Trail is a very popular area for hiking, horseback riding, and mountain biking, and also running. And so you'll likely encounter other people while exploring the area. And the best times to visit the trail are April through October, and dogs are welcome, but they must be on a leash. During the winter, the trail offers an exciting snowshoe or cross-country skiing track. So that's our video for today, and be sure to check my other videos and subscribe to my channel. I post new videos weekly, and so I hope to see you in the next one. But until then, bye for now.